Hey friends, Zack Sanchez here. Have you ever had the experience of someone telling you about something or telling you you should be doing something, but you had no idea what they were talking about? For instance, let's say everywhere you went, people were talking about the mashed potato, which is a dance. They were talking about how great it was. They were talking about how you should be doing the mashed potato, but yet you couldn't understand what they meant because you had never seen the mashed potato. That would be pretty frustrating, right? Well, that's exactly how I felt when it came to this idea, this concept, this word of hustling. Leaving the corporate world and stepping into the role of an entrepreneur, I started to hear this word thrown around all the time. So I started to investigate it and look into it, and what I kept coming up with was just frustration. I kept thinking to myself, what the fuck is hustling? Everybody's talking about it, but I had no idea what hustling looked like. How did it show up on the calendar? Weren't I already hustling now? You see, it's such a vague concept, and people just throw it out there as if there's an implied meaning that you're supposed to get. But what I want to do, and I hope to do with this video, is give you a little more concrete and tangible, something you can feel idea of hustling. So what is hustling? Hustling is simply maximizing your time. So how do you do that? You maximize your time by seeking and creating opportunities. You engage in activities that take your life to the next level. So for instance, let's say that you sell cars for a living and your main source of clientele is just walk-ins, and you'll go to the occasional networking event. So in between walk-ins, you have space, you have time to go after opportunities, to create opportunities, to maximize your time. Well, if you currently aren't doing anything in that time, what you could start doing is maybe you can make phone calls. Maybe you could call on new prospects. Maybe you could call on old prospects. Maybe you could start going out to different businesses and just letting people know what you do. You go out and network during the day. They like to refer to it as cold visiting versus cold calling. You call someone you don't know. Cold visiting is just showing up, introducing yourself, and chatting people up. It's a very powerful thing. Grant Cardone talks about, if you know what day it is, you're not busy enough. That's hustling. Maximizing your time. It's really living an active life versus a passive life. I get asked a lot, especially as of late, on why I get up so early. They see me checking in at the gym at 3 o'clock in the morning, and they want to know why I'm getting up so early. Well, I've got to thank Eric Thomas, who's a motivational speaker, because he's the one who really planted that idea in my mind of getting up early and really getting a head start on your day. Get up in the morning and start to plan out how you want to live that day. Because today is all we have, and we can either allow it to just happen or we can be focused and calculated with it. And so when people ask me, why do you get up so early? I get up early because I want to get life started. I want to maximize my experience and my time here, and I can't do that with my eyes shut. And so one of the ways that you really maximize your time is you have to start planning your day. Now, I've made another video that talked about the idea of planning your day, but I want to touch on it again here because it's so powerful. Idle time will get wasted. You can't just start your day with no type of structure or outline, because you can blow off a whole day putting out little fires with no real creative focus going anywhere. So you want to start planning out your day. If you work a 10-hour day, let's say, you should have all that time accounted for and what you're going to be doing in that time. If you don't have that currently, you've got to start planning it. Where can I maximize my time? Let's say that you want to start a side project and you don't have much time. Cut back a few hours of sleep. Wake up earlier in the morning and carve out that time to create something. You've got to plan. So I'll just give you a little contrast as to what hustling looks like. When I was working in the corporate world and I was doing retail management, I would get up about an hour before I had to go to work. It'd give me enough time to shower and then get to work. I would go to work. Once I got off work, I would go to the gym, I would work out, and then I would go home, I would eat, and then I would read, and then it would be time for bed. Every single day, right? There's no creativity there. I'm not creating anything. I'm not actively living life. I'm just passively allowing it to happen to me. Now, I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I exercise. Once I come home from exercise, I then make tea and I write my goals out. Then I work on a creative project that I'm working on right now. Then it's time to come here, and now I'm making this video. Once I'm done making this video, I've got a sales meeting to get on. After the sales meeting, then it's income producing things, meeting new people, maybe writing a blog post, whatever it is, that's all blocked out. Even once I'm done with work, I still even block out my recreational time. If you've got a girlfriend, you want to schedule time for that relationship. You don't want it to just happen. You don't expect it to just happen. You want to schedule it. And so look, guys, hustling is such a vague idea, but I want you to start looking at it as this. Hustling is an idea that gets converted into activities or action that is premeditated and planned. Let me say that again. Hustling is an idea that gets converted into action or activities that are premeditated and planned. I had to stutter there, premeditated. But seriously, premeditated and planned. All the hustling activities should be mapped out beforehand. If you're not planning your day out, then you're not hustling. You're just waiting for the day to come to you, which is fine if that's how you want to be. But an active life is the one where you're gonna make the most strides when you're being calculated in life. When you're actually planning things out and you're being calculated, you're gonna make longer strides than someone who isn't. So, what the fuck is hustle? Hustle is maximizing your time spent. You should be thinking, how can I maximize my time? If you have downtime, you have to reinvest that time. You shouldn't have downtime. Look at downtime as time to reinvest in different things. If you're at work, reinvest that time to bring in new business. If you're on personal time, reinvest that time in yourself. All right, maximizing your time, and then you've got to plan it out to make sure you're maximizing it. If you're not planning your day out and you're just allowing it to happen by chance, then you're not gonna be as effective as you would be if you actually plan things out. You'll get some accomplished, but you won't be as effective. All right, friends, I'm Zach, and as always, life changes in an instant the minute you take an interest in it. So let's take an interest in it. We'll talk soon. Have a great day.